All right, let's get started. Thank you to the five students now that have taken the time to spend some time and go over the office hours live with me. If you're watching this as a recording, I appreciate that as well. So I'm just going to cover sort of the admin stuff for this week. I'm going to answer any questions, and hopefully the folks that are here live will have some questions for me. I do not hesitate to ask questions in the office hours. I'm happy to go over and over things. What I just cannot do with the number of students in the class is do that by email and respond individually to people. So that's why I encourage or essentially insist that people review the office hours before asking me questions that I've covered. But even if we've talked about it 10 times at this point, you want to talk about it again in office hours, since I'm potentially talking to the entire class, I'm happy to go over it. So don't hesitate to ask anything. I've got a few things here that I just want to cover. And at that point, I'll open things up for general questions. So quizzes. You should be able to see your quiz 2, I believe we're on here. Sorry, bear with me while I get to the right page. So we're on the second half of module 1, excuse me. We're on the second half of module 2 now. And what we've got ahead of us by this Friday, February 4th, is quiz 2 is due at 11:59 p.m. We also have discussion 2 post 2 due. So that's what we've got going on. Assignment 1 is due. The technical checkup portion of it is due Wednesday the 2nd. So those are the things that we've got ahead of us. I will sort of talk about these things in turn. So quiz 2, if you can't see quiz 2, it means that you haven't done the mandatory requirements. If you look in the syllabus or watch the office hours or listen here right now, I will tell you that you have to submit an academic integrity module screenshot proof to me so that I know that you've done the academic integrity module. The most common reasons for people not to get that perfect and get a 0.5 out of 1 on it is because their name doesn't appear in the screenshot. So make sure your name's in that. If you submitted it to me and your name doesn't appear on the screenshot, just your marks, that doesn't do me a lot of good, so I can't give you full marks on that. If you look in your My Grades, you'll see your mark and my comment. If it's anything but 1 out of 1, you're not going to see the quiz. The other thing that you need to do is the mandatory course requirements quiz, and you need to get that perfect. So here's the problem, or here's the issue that many people have, and I will inevitably get a bunch of email on Friday as people scramble to do the quiz, and it will start out with, "Sir, I can't see the quiz." Even if you've done it and submitted it and you've got it perfect, I have to manually review it because it's late. That's what Blackboard makes me do. So I do that periodically. I'll be doing that all through the week. So please submit that during the week as opposed to waiting until Friday at 8 p.m. and starting to panic, or 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. I marked those until about 9:30 last night, Friday night. I don't guarantee that I will stay up to do those, or I don't guarantee that I'll not have something better to do than mark late submissions on a Friday night. So please get them done. Give yourself the peace of mind of knowing that the quiz is there ahead of time. So that's a really common question that I get. Sir, I've done all the requirements. I've got perfect marks, but I still can't see it. That's probably because I haven't marked it yet. So please go ahead and do that earlier in the week rather than later. The other thing is that people don't look at their actual marks and just assume that they got it perfect, and that's not always the case. So that's the quiz and the mandatory requirements for the quizzes. We have marked the first round of discussion. So discussion 1 is fully marked. I did hit my target of getting it in by Wednesday so that hopefully people that were interested could take a look and use the feedback from that before they did their first post for discussion 2, which was due yesterday. So if you haven't done that for whatever reason, doesn't really matter why, please do go ahead and do it, because you don't want to lose the marks for not submitting the first post. It'll be a flat 10% penalty for that. That's fine. That's way better than losing all your marks on it. So the discussions are worth 5% each. So they're a significant portion of your marks. So please submit it late. If you didn't get around to it, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Just try and submit it sometime this week, and then do your second one by Friday at 11:59. The reason I even put a deadline on there is because we all need, for the second post, we need to be able to read one of our peers' first posts. And if I don't put a deadline, then there will be no posts for you to read and respond to. So it becomes absolute chaos. So that's why I put that that requirement in, that you're done the Friday before. As I touched on, assignment 1, part 1 is due on Wednesday. It's a very simple little assignment. Please read the requirements. Please watch Thomas's video, understand what we're looking for. It shouldn't take you a ton of time. Put some thought into it, but we're not marking content. We're making sure that you manage to do some of the steps and demonstrate some of the functionalities, and you're able to post it properly. Once you've submitted assignment 1, part 1, then assignment 1, part 2, the one that's worth 12% of your final mark, becomes available to you immediately. I would maybe start on that, but I would wait for feedback from part 1 so that you don't make the same mistakes that perhaps you made in part 1 when you do part 2. I just released assignment 1, part 2 today, this morning. So if you had already submitted your assignment 1, part 1, and you couldn't see the second part of the assignment, don't worry about it. I just released it now. So you should be able to see that immediately, and at least start thinking about that question and maybe doing some research. Treat it like you would any other essay or any other presentation. Write it up so that you're not doing what I'm doing, improvising and sort of babbling about the topic. You want to have a prepared script, and maybe you want to do your production in parts, right? It doesn't have to be all one continuous take. You can put together various different sessions. So if you talk for a minute about one topic, take a break, review it, make sure you're happy with it, then do another minute and stitch them together. That's fine. It does not have to be one continuous 5-minute presentation. I think that's all that I really wanted to cover. We are getting into a decent routine here. We're finishing off module 2. Module 3 is going to look a lot like module 2, with the exception that you don't have a discussion component to it. Instead, you'll have the assignment, the bigger part of the assignment, assignment 1 worth the 12%. In the middle of module 3. So we're towards the end of module 3. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns? Feel free to put them in chat or come on with your mic and tell me what's on your mind. You answered mine with video submission. Thank you. Okay, I'm glad. Anyone that had sharp eyes and could see that that was a Guinness mug, it is filled with coffee, I swear. It's a little too early here for Guinness. Okay, folks, if you don't have any questions, feel free to get on with your Saturdays. Please do review feedback. We do spend a lot of time on those discussion posts giving you feedback so that you can be successful and we don't have to say the same things over and over again. The second discussion won't get the same level of feedback. And by the fourth discussion, it'll just be a mark. So please do take the time to do that. It'll help your success. All right. Other than that, continue on, and I'll hang around here if anyone needs to talk to me at the end.